There you go. Well, welcome to our second class on intervention for 0 to 3 years old. Did you both had a chance to watch? I know that we didn't see it really on the video, but were you able to watch the first one, Kathy? Did you? Okay. Okay, awesome. So I am going to go straight into sharing my screen. Okay, so we have talked about that we have to put God first so that we can really learn. And a lot of the things that we are going to learn sometimes will make us feel uncomfortable, sad, ashamed, guilty because we didn't do it right, or it wasn't exactly what we experienced growing up. And then all those feelings starts coming in and really trying to sabotage our learning, because God always wants us to learn from our mistakes. They're just opportunity to grow. So we're going to start with this. This today, the scripture he gave me was in Proverbs 31:25, and it says, "Clothed with strength and dignity, she can laugh at the day to come." And one of the things that anxiety comes from is not knowing the future. So when we are depressed, we are having thoughts of our past. When we are stressed, we're having thought of our actual reality, our present. And when we are anxious, we are really thinking of the future and not knowing what's going to happen. So that's the difference between those three states. And it's important that laughter, we had talked about being using the star, remember? So let's go back to that. How to be a star. So we smile. We ask Abba to take the wheel and to take control of the situation or where we're at right now. So we give you this hour. Father, we ask that you would help us hear what you have to say, learn from our past and our present situations, and know that you are in control of everything, past, present, future. You have been, you are, and you will be always there. We take a deep breath. We say, Holy Spirit, feel us. Feel us right now and lead us to all truth, because we need your guidance. We need to learn how to apply what we are going to hear the best way for our families, for our lives, for our children. There is no blanket understanding out there of everybody should or have to work in a certain way. These are just principles that are going to be used in our tool belt, and we can use them when we need them. They don't have to always be exactly that way. We can tweak them according to our needs. And that's the way you do everything, because every single one of us is unique. So everything will apply very differently to each one of us, or the results will be different when the technique is used for each one of us. And we can relax. Prince of Peace, together we can handle this. He is with us, always here. I love doing this call and the sitting at the well. On day 4, which is the day of authority of government, we come under your authority in our lives. We enter your kingdom to be trained by you to be the best moms, daughters, sisters that we can be. And at noon was that time of the day when you said it is finished. So is the time that we can rest. He has done everything that needs to be done, has already been done by him. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, just allow him to teach us what to do next. So we're going to go over the road sign number 1, which is critical intervention of 0 to 3-year-old. And I'm going to play now the video. It's about 8 minutes. It's a short video, but it is important that we watch it because the way our brain works, we see things, we hear things, we experience things by sounds and the visual, but also then we'll need to do something. So we'll practice and we'll do very practical things so that we can retain what we have heard. And what she has done in the video is very hard for me to recreate when somebody already invented the wheel. I don't need to do that. So we allowed our, I'm going to stop this share and open another one. We're going to allow a sister that has already worked on something and develop it for us. And okay, Caitlin is coming in, and I'm going to take the camera off so it's not on the screen, but I do want to know if you need to unmute yourself and let me know if you cannot see it or you cannot hear it. So I'm going to start it now and you let me know, please. Can you hear it? Okay, I'm going to pause it. You're not hearing it?
I wasn't, no. Maybe you paused it.
Okay, let me check up here. Oh, share sound. Let me make sure. Where did it go? Why did you move out? Okay. Now it went out of there. Okay. Hi, Caitlin. Let me share again. Yeah, I don't know where it went. Okay. Can you hear it now?
This is road sign number 1, difficult
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Awesome.
interventions. In this,
If there's a way you could turn the volume up, that would be good.
now let's learn some interventions. Red flag number 1.
Okay. I'm sorry. What did you say?
It just sounds kind of low, but I can hear it.
Oh, okay. Wow. It's loud in my head. So I will bring the volume up and take my headphones off. Okay. There he goes.
And there was no picture when she did when we heard the sound.
Oh, there is no picture now?
No picture, just it says Rooted Cafe.
Interesting. So if that's very interesting. So if I do the sound, then you don't get the picture. That's really interesting. Okay. Let me see something else. See, I tried it and I recorded it and it came out perfectly. I saw it, I heard it.
Like right now, when you're talking, even it's not showing your face; it's just showing the Rooted Cafe icon.
Right. Yeah. because I have it, let me see, let me open this up. I have it, my camera, I have it off so that the camera wouldn't show while the video was being shown, or the PowerPoint, because what happens is, then my face is, let me find it so you can see me. Okay, here I am.
That's what we're seeing.
Okay, interesting. See, another thing that and it records well, sound and visual, but I don't know why it's doing that. But I went ahead and have it here on my phone. And you tell me if you guys can see that. Okay. Can you see
Yes.
the? Okay. So can you hear it?
Yes.
This is road sign number 1, difficult temperament interventions. In this, you have learned what the red flags are. Now, let's learn some interventions. Red flag number 1 is a difficult temperament. Children with difficult temperaments are hard to parent and hard to care for. Good parenting requires following the lead of the child. However, if you follow the lead of a difficult temperament child, they may lead you down a road of developmental difficulties. As children grow, developmental tasks stack on themselves like building blocks. Success and mastery at one level will predict success and mastery at another level. Each lays the foundation for the next layer of development. For example, how a child negotiates their relationship with their earliest caregivers lays the foundation for how they will negotiate their relationship with their peers and possibly significant others later in life. During the first 3 years of life, children lay the foundation for many things, but in regard to our discussion, 2 major things. One is connection, which connection means how do you negotiate and manage the relationship? And 2, self-regulation. How do you negotiate and manage arousal, upset, and stress? These foundations are laid through a process called attachment with your caregivers. For healthy, secure attachment, babies need to be seen. And what that means is we need to understand what's going on or help them understand what's going on inside them. For example, you might say, it's hard to wait. I'm making that food. You're doing it. It's hard. It's hard. You can handle it. As opposed to, I'm cooking as fast as I can. I can't take this crying. Children need to be soothed instead of going, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Here, look at here, you're okay, you're okay. We would actually hold them and download our calm to them. Children need to be safe. We need to respond to their emotional distress with caring and soothing and compassion instead of, I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand this. And they need to be stimulated. We need to play face-to-face, wonderful peekaboo and patty cake with our babies. We would go round and round the tummy. Goes the choo-choo train. Choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-choo. Tickle under there. So they need to be seen, soothed, safe, and stimulated. Children with difficult temperaments make it hard to do those 4 things. It's hard to see them or understand what's going on inside them when they're so chronically upset. Every little thing gets them fussing and crying. And what happens is when they're born, their nervous system is unbalanced. It's almost like they're on a high-speed cracker like this. Now, for a typical child, it would be like this. a nice, steady beat. But for difficult temperaments, now you can imagine me trying to talk over this, focus over this, learn over this, and soothe myself and go to sleep and eat. It makes it very, very difficult. So what we want to do as caregivers when a child gets emotionally aroused like this, we want to do something to the child to bring it from this down to one of those is active calming, which I showed you before. So if the child's no, we don't want to go stop it, not one more time, because what's happening is we will take this and make it this. Again, setting off on a difficult developmental track. Watch this next video of a mother soothing a very difficult tempered child.
It's hard when you want to go to sleep and it's time to eat. It's hard. That's hard. You can do it. Oh, you're ready to do something else. Good for you. You know it's not quite time, but you know that we'll get to it. You can handle it.
So to see difficult children, we have to know how much is too little and how much is too much. So even when we were going to play round and round the tummy goes the choo-choo train, this child may already be fussing. So that's too fast. That's too much. Round and round. If the child's kind of looks like they're lethargic and their clacker's going, we might have to go, oh, round and around the tummy, round and around the tummy. So how much is too much and how much is too little? And we constantly have to correct that for the child. We also have to provide the be safe. Setting limits on difficult temperament children is hard because every limit requires emotional arousal. Remember, they're already operating like this. So all we have to do is say no, and it goes. So we have to say, yes, you can after lunch. Yes, you can after you put your seatbelt on. Yes, we can as soon as we get that diaper changed. We also need to focus vigilantly on what we want the children to do, as opposed to stop crying, don't run, don't spit your food. We want to say, wipe your little food. I'm going to wipe your food out. I'm going to help you calm down. I'm going to hold your hand instead of don't touch me, don't hit me. I'll hold your little hand. I'll show you how to touch me softly. We also then need to play as many possible face-to-face games with just the right amount, not too much, not too little, with our babies. And this will be difficult to do, but we must do it because the eye contact, the touch, my presence in this playful situation is how we wire the child's brain for impulse control for the rest of their life. And they get little joy juice, we call it. A little combination of dopamine, endorphins, and oxytocin. We'll just call it joy juice that literally provides for optimal brain development. So these interventions will get you started with your difficult temperament children. Don't let these red flags pass by as a phase. They are indeed red flags, and you can do something about it.
Okay. There you go. So you were able to hear that and see it. Let me share back my screen. Okay. So before I move on, any questions? Can you hear me?
Um,
Oh, there you go.
We have a child who is now 6 that has impulse control problems. So
Mhm.
then that is meaning with what I saw that these needs weren't met, correct?
That's correct. Or it could be that he didn't have, let me get the faces here. Okay. It could be that the child was not shown how to build that, or could be that it's a child that has like she was saying, a difficult temperament and still doesn't know. So you just have to continue to show these things, and we'll talk about each one of them. Yeah, because it's a building block, but I'm glad that that child is with you, because it's going to be a different life completely if would have been, wherever the child was, that probably the parent didn't really know how to do that. So this difficult temperament, and it was funny when she says, this mom with a difficult temperament child, and the little baby's just like, hey, wasn't that that difficult, really? But she did, why try to keep feeding him if the child is crying? You just stop, get the baby out of the chair. Don't try to soothe the baby in the chair. You get him out of the chair, bring him up. I got my little doll today. You just bring the baby up and just breathe and give them that calmness that you have. And we're teaching them. So that's what they need to do. So when they're alone, they can do that to themselves. They either will suck their thumb or get a little stuffed animal or the pillow or the blanket, something that help them soothe themselves. And they can do that too. Then we have the two things that are important. So let's say we do have a child that has that, or we have a child that is completely normal and is going to have sometimes not, be hungry, be tired, doesn't really even know why he doesn't feel good, but doesn't feel good. So we need to help them to be connected, and we need to help them to self-regulate. So like she said, that just is the foundation that we're going to build in this first 3 years for the rest of their lives. But if they didn't have it in those first 3 years, it's whenever you get that child, or whenever you actually start seeing those things, you realize, okay, even if you did it, there is something that did not connect well with the child. So they need to be safe. We talked about the first thing is make sure that their basic needs are met, but also to be seen is to really see what is it that their needs are. Okay, I see you. I see your face. You look like this. I see you. You're looking down. Is there something that's going on? So then they know that you're looking at them and you have seen, and you're mimicking back what you're seeing, because they don't have a mirror in front of them, and they sometimes don't realize that they just have this look, or they look sad. And so when you do the face, then they realize, oh, that's what I look like. So they connect with their emotion. Yeah, you look sad. Why are you sad? So then, oh, you look angry. So then they see you do the same gesture, and they realize, oh, that's what I look like. And those are important for them to understand. And then help them how to soothe themselves. Sometimes if you're always the one soothing them and they don't learn how to do it, then that makes a pattern for them. So as they grow up, they will always find someone to do that for them. and that creates dependency on somebody else. So they're the typical person that are just codependent. I can't do this, yet you have to do it for me. And if you're not there, they'll find someone. And believe me, there's always somebody out there that wants to bully them and be in control of them. And that's where that codependency that is so unhealthy starts. And they need to be stimulated. It's important that we spend time with them. We play games. We have to remember that intimacy is face to face. When we have that intimacy with our Father, we have face to face relationship. It's not like, oh, Kathy, can you pray to God for me about this? Oh, Caitlin, you're just so spiritual. God hears all your prayers. Would you do this for me? It's okay to ask for prayer for one another, but not you to pray to God so that God can say something to me. He doesn't have mediators. That would be so wrong if my kids, their names, one is Veronica, the other one is Gabriel. If Veronica would come and say, Mom, Gabriel needs this. Oh, okay, go and tell Gabriel, so, whatever. And then she comes back, Mom, Gabriel says, it's like, what is this? Gabriel, come over here. And that's our Father. No, we don't have mediators between him and us. So we just go straight to him. We go straight to our Savior. We go straight to the Holy Spirit. We don't have mediators. It is important that we play games. And if they can see you eye to eye, they can tell you how they're feeling. They have connection issues. There has been an attachment there that has been broken or has never been developed. So, or they created a wrong attachment to a person that is no longer there. So now you have to reattach yourself to that child because you're new to him or her. So, and you start that. It's always face to face, physical touch, smiley face. All that has to come into one package for the child to learn how to do that himself. And this is a very interesting one because of what did I do? I just checked out of here. Okay. So sorry about that. One of the things that we're so used to hearing, no, don't do that. No, we're no. It's the word that they hear the most. So when they're 2 years old, what's the first thing that they say? No, because they've been hearing that so much. So it is okay. This is something that is good for all children, that we always use the positive. This world is full of negatives, and it takes, research have shown that it takes 8 positives to get rid of 1 negative. And we say what we hear most of the days are negative. So we're all in default, we're all in the red because we don't say enough positive things to our children that will take away those multiple no's that they hear, or you're this or you're that. They hear this all day long, especially out there in the world. They watch it on TV. Kids say it to each other. So we want our home to be a place where there is more positive than negative. So everything that we want them to do, that's what we're going to say. We're going to say, please walk in the house instead of stop running. We say, please sit on the chair. Get down from that chair. Don't stand on the chair. We normally say what we don't want them, but we repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and that's what's in their brains. So, but with a difficult temperament child, they are already up here. So when we say no, they lose it real fast, and then they start crying or why not? But I don't want to, and they're just one line off, away from going off. into a temper tantrum. So in order to help them, we can say, yes, like she was saying, yes, we can do that after you eat your meal. I want to go to the park. I want to go and play. I'll say, yes, yes, you will go out there after you finish your meal. But I want this. I want to watch this program. Yeah, you're going to be able to watch it as soon as we are done with picking up the toys. So that way they're not hearing no, and they don't feel this wall coming up and bursting their bubble. But we're just saying we have to do this. So that also helps them have self-control. And the stimulation part that she was talking about, it is very important. A lot of our kids, especially I've noticed that I noticed that I did 3.5 years of foster care, that a lot of the kids that I was getting were more on the lethargic side than actually on the hyperactive side. And it was because they had been told no, 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 and then their affect was very depressed. So with those kids, like she was saying, with the doll, instead of going, slowly playing with the child, we will go, woohoo, yay! And we jump them and we turn around and are like, I'm going to tickle you. And, things like that, because we want them to wake up. And when we do that, we get, those oxytocin, endorphins, and dopamine. We get all those good building chemicals that bring new memories into their hearts, into their minds. And that's what we want to replace, anything that was painful or not the a good memory for them, with a good memory. And then and that was all I had for that. So I'm going to stop sharing that and we'll open it up for discussion. Let's see, there's something here in the chat. How can we make sure our kids aren't dependent on us to be soothed, or anyone for that matter? Okay, so the best way that we can see that happening is how long does it take your child when they're crying to calm down? If it takes them, 10 minutes, that means that your child doesn't know how to soothe themselves. Okay. If it takes them, even if they take half an hour, some children can cry for half an hour, then we know for sure that there is a disconnect there. And they either have, if it's not your child and you don't know what has happened, there could be trauma there and they've been neglected. When they cry, nobody has calmed them. Nobody has really cared for them. So they have learned to just cry and scream until they get attention, because that pattern worked for them. So if it's a wrong pattern, it needs to be changed. If it's your child and you know exactly how you raised your child and they still do that, then there is a skill that the baby just hasn't matured and acquired. And it's no big deal. We should never, and please write this as big as you can in your mind, never compare one child with the other. Oh, but your brother, oh, but your, every kid is unique, and some learn faster than others. Some like numbers and some like letters. Some like to draw, some like to talk, some like to be quiet and observe others. We are all different. So all we have to do is help them. Like she was saying, okay, so this child is like hitting me and pulling my hair. And I go, okay, let me show you. This is how mommy likes to be touched, softly. And I don't like my hair pulled. And then you can play with their hair. See, I like my hair to be just touch softly like this. And so you use their own bodies to show them what is it that you want them to do. And if they still, like if they're upset and they're crying and they can't calm themselves, then you show them. Okay, if depending on the size, let's say it's a little baby, you just bring them to your chest and hold them. They need to feel connected. They need to feel your presence. They need to be taught how to breathe. Breathe with me. I know you can. It's hard. Yep, I know you can. And then you just do that with them until, okay, it says that tries to mediate instead of him coming. Okay, so we're going to talk about that one. It's our next one, the 3 to 5, when the child can already talk. And then they like, especially when it's the oldest, that's a firstborn syndrome. They want to, they're like little parents. They want to be exactly like you. So if it's a girl, she wants to be a mom. If it's a boy, he wants to be the dad. So he will take care of the little one, and he will, let's see, is it instead of him? Oh, is your daughter, right? The oldest. So then she will try to say, oh, he wants this, mom. And it is okay if they're trying to help. So these are two little words that are very useful. And you can ask them, are you trying to help or are you trying to hurt? Because sometimes they just want to hurt the other one. And they wanted the little one to do something and the little one didn't want to do it. So then they just gonna take revenge and come to, and mom, he said this. So the attitude that's coming, that's behind that. So you go, are you trying to help your brother or are you trying to hurt your brother? Because that doesn't sound right. So then you have to face them with their hard attitude, and they can say, yeah, I just was angry at him. Like, yeah, I can tell. What happened? Tell me. So then you can talk instead of stop telling. We can scream and say, don't do that. Or do you think I need to go and help your little brother? Or do you think he can come and talk to me himself? You can ask that way too. There is, I have one that needs to be, and one to be stimulated. So then, anything that the being face to face, the connecting, playing little games with them, patty cakes or Big-a-boo or whatever you want to play with your baby, has to be, face to face. They need to be touched. And if they are just very cranky and she's still moving, I can still hold her and say, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And by the time, that I get her, breathe with me. You're okay. We're going to be fine. You're safe in my arms. And you can say that, especially when they're little, they need to hear that you're safe in my arms. Mommy loves you, so that they know. And one thing that we should never say, you're a good girl. You're a good boy, because then we set them up to behave in order to get attention. And that is not a good outcome. That can lead into many, many difficult situations. So they are always loved, even when she is, it's okay. It's okay. You're safe in mommy's hand. Yep. I love you. I love you so much. And you can just slow it down. Yes, because you are. Did you know what happened when you were born? And just bring it up to your face again. You were such a cutie. And then just change the whatever is bothering them, change it. You know what we're going to make this afternoon? And just take them, try to distract them with something else, so that they go, no, what? And so that they are looking at you again. And then you have, because you want that, when they're like, they're not looking at you. They're not paying attention to you. So you want those eyes back at you. So you can just go, and see what they do. And then if you see that they come down and go, there you are. If you're trying to get them to stimulate them, then you do that like really big, and get them to, respond. But then when you put the smile in your face, then they're like, oh, we're safe. But anything else that you guys can think of?
If we've already like made that mistake of saying, oh, you're a good girl or whatever, how could we reverse that?
Oh, okay. One thing that helps me a lot is our Hebrew roots helps me a lot, because the Hebrew thinking is about actions. It's not about, you're pretty or you did this or you did that. It's more of who you are. And so you can say, like, when she does something, it's important to help them understand that the things that you value are the things that they do that are helpful to others, because we're supposed to be like our Savior, right? He came to serve and not to be served. So from the get-go, we can start at an early age. I saw you moved that toy so your sister didn't trip on it. That was very helpful. So we're always telling them that we're seeing them. I saw what you did. You shared your sandwich with her. That was so nice of you to do to her. So we're always trying to let them realize that the things that we appreciate the most are the things that they do for others. Even when they are good to themselves. They're going down the stairs and they felt like they're going to fall. So they turn around and they went, backwards. It's like, I saw what you did. That was very smart, to be careful so that you wouldn't fall and hurt yourself. Wow, so proud of you. So you are trying to get away from, oh, you're a good boy. Look what you did. Because good boy and good girl doesn't mean a lot in their minds, but they hear it and it sticks like a little sponge. So then they're looking for someone to say you're a good boy or good girl. So they act accordingly to whatever, we make them into people-pleasing children. And
Right. It's like become a tool of manipulation for us too, like
right.
we can abuse that, unfortunately. If nobody else has any other questions, my next question would be, because I can't quite decipher if I have a not good attachment with my daughter, as far as like, if she's too dependent on me. Because when she was little, she had a lot of health issues, as far as like, she had really bad eczema, and mold toxicity is why she had such bad eczema.
Mm-hmm.
And she, like, our way of comforting her through it was nursing. She just nursed and nursed all the time. I mean, I felt like she was attached to my boob just as much as she was as a newborn as she was at 2. It was real. And then because of her eczema being so bad, I had to sleep with her to keep her from, she would scratch herself bleeding at night.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's some people who are co-sleepers, anti-co-sleepers, we never intended to be, we had a crib for her and everything, but it was out of protection for her not to bleed. I mean, it was bad. So now we have this difficulty. Now she's 4, and my husband, he'll come home, or he'll come and sleep in the bed with me, but then she wakes up at 1 a.m. He'll come and sleep with, he'll sleep with her the rest of the night. So it's like, now we have a 4-year-old who can't soothe herself at night. It's like, to the point where I'm like, okay, let's get a dog. Maybe she could sleep with the dog. But then that's the same issue of,
yes,
we don't want to transfer it to
No.
another thing, so I don't know, how do you reverse something like that? You know what I mean?
You
Like,
create a new pattern.
okay.
That was a pattern that due to her illness, and it could be that I have friends that have a hydrocephaly child and they had to sleep with the child
Yeah,
because they had to
yeah.
feed the child during the middle of the night
Mhm.
through a tube and all this stuff. So there are circumstances that are beyond you. And
Right.
obviously, I wouldn't say that she has a bad attachment. Actually, she has an excellent attachment because you care for her needs. You did
Right. I
everything
just
you
didn't know
could.
if I've like when you said that earlier about they're too dependent, I'm like, oh gosh, I think that might be my kids because no one's ever kept my kids but me. I've
Right.
never had a babysitter. They've always been with me. Whenever they're hurt, it was like nursing or,
Mhm.
like I did all those things, holding the baby, and I never did the cry it out method. Like my kids have never cried it out. But then I'm like wondering if I did it too much, like now I'm overly the one that you depend on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the 1.5 definitely depends on you.
Yes,
that.
yes.
Mhm. So now the 4-year-old, you just create a new pattern. So, but that has to be
Okay.
taught. You create routines for her, like nighttime, whether it
Mhm.
is you give her a warm bath and then just get some lavender and give her, put lavender in her feet. You can ask her,
Mhm.
can you put lavender in mommy's hands? And then she can put it on you. And then smell it. That smells so good. Okay. So what would you like to sleep tonight with? If she doesn't have something that she's already used to, you can give her a little pillow, give her a little toy. She really needs you to help her to go to sleep. So you're
Mhm.
going to take your little, doll with you, and let's put some, let's give her some massage too. She's going to
Mhm.
like that. Oh, let's do her feet. And then, okay, so now we have to put her to sleep because it's late. So then,
Mhm.
if she puts her little doll to sleep, we use dolls a lot for like potty training and stuff like that too. So
Yeah.
then after it's like, okay, now is your time to go to bed too. So you have to stay there in bed with her. And then you can, at the beginning, I don't know how she's going to take it. Like I said, every child is unique. You can
Mhm.
say, I'm here. You can sit in the bedroom where her crib is and get a book. You can put some music. You can have, a light.
Yeah, we just got her a fish tank the other day, and we haven't put the fish in it yet because the water has to settle. But I thought
Yeah.
maybe if she knew her little fish friends are always there with her, just like God's always with you. He's always watching you. Fish don't sleep either. So it's like a little spiritual, I don't know, reminder because like we've talked about, like they don't know reality from
Mhm.
in the dream world, and so it's just her whole life nighttime has been an anxious time because that's when she was her itchiest. That was when it was like most trauma was at night, and so I don't know. I'm like, I don't want to do the same thing wrong with my son. But anyway, I just wanted
Yeah.
to see if there's a way. So your recommendation would be to just kind of try to set a new routine, stick to
Mhm.
that routine.
Yeah. And you read to
And
her, you sing to her, just something that you were going to do every single night. A new
Mhm.
pattern takes about 21 days to be faithful to do it every day.
Right.
And then and she's going to, if she's already able to get out of, she's not in a crib, I'm assuming
No, she has her
anymore.
own bed. She has a queen size bed that we
Right.
put little bumpers in there.
So
And
yeah, so she's going to try to get out of the bed and says, okay, it's time to go to bed. And it's in your bed that you need to stay. No, not, don't get out from bed. Don't get me.
so you
in
don't
the,
think we shouldn't, because what my husband and I've been doing is we would like read to her, whatever, sitting there with her until she falls asleep, then get up, leave, come to the room. Do you think that's bad to do it that way?
you will be doing that for a long time if she's 4
Yeah.
years old and she still
Yeah.
needs that. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's up to you. You can do that forever, but it's not going to
No,
be, no.
that's the thing. I don't want to create a dependency on us.
Right.
We just don't have a clue what to do. I mean, we're
Yeah.
like,
And you can get in bed with her, and you can read the book. It's nice to be right next to each other. You're both like that, and you have the book, and you can show her and move the page and all that. That's perfectly fine. And then you say, okay, Now it's time to sleep. You don't have to fall asleep, but you have to stay in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And mommy's going to be right here. Actually, I brought a book with me. If you want to read yours, I'll read mine. And you just
Mhm.
sit somewhere else, not in the bed
Okay.
with her.
But in
And
the
then-
room is okay, you
Yeah,
think?
stay in the room
Okay.
because, yeah, you can't leave her now. You have to
No.
wean her little by little. So you
Okay.
stay in the room, but you read for a little while. And then she is going to eventually have to fall asleep.
Yeah. And because she was the baby that nursed herself to sleep, you know, like, so my
Yeah.
son's totally different. He'll nurse and then he'll just get up and crawl away and like go to sleep somewhere. You know, like he's like, bye. Like,
Yeah, you have to remember too that you provide antibodies through your milk.
yes.
So that soothed her. It wasn't
Yeah.
just the milk, it wasn't just nursing.
Right.
She was actually getting benefit from the milk too.
Right. Yeah. Her doctor even said that to me.
Yeah.
She was like, if you hadn't been nursing her this time, she would have been far sicker because of the home we were living in was mold toxic.
Yeah.
And it was just like the highest levels of mold toxicity were in her body. And she was like, she
Mhm.
should have been way sicker, but because you've
Right.
nursed her I mean, I nursed her for over 2 years until I was pregnant with my son. And it really did save her in a way, but
Yeah. And the
Um,
pain, you soothe
yeah.
her pain.
yeah,
You know, one of the worst things when you're sick and you're hurting is to be alone.
right.
So she was right there attached to you. So it's really interesting. One day when she's older, we're gonna go, oh, so that's what God was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
She trained her for something, and we'll see
Yeah.
what it is.
yeah. Amen. I love the hope in that.
Yeah.
Because right now we're in these stages of feeling like, did we do something wrong? You know, like
No, that's why I said that at the beginning. And that's the last thing that I want any of you to move away from here is thinking that you did, even when we do something wrong.
Right.
I've gone to my adult children and say, oh, I did that so wrong.
Right.
Please forgive me. And they'll
Right.
go, oh, mom, I'm okay.
yeah, like we
But-
didn't even see it that way.
Right. But, it's okay to go back, even if they're adults, and let them know, yep, that was wrong. I did that wrong. But
So do you
it's
think
okay.
co-sleeping is not a good thing?
Well, I have a Burmese family that they co-sleep until they are, I think, 7 or 8 years old. The child, the whole family sleeps together. If they have 3, 4 children, they're all sleeping in the same bed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, part of my job was to tell them that no, that's not what is supposed to be the right thing. That is their culture. And she said, I'm sorry, that's what we do. And you're not going to change that. So it just depends. You have to see the family, you have to see the child, you have to see how they're developing. And if it's cultural, obviously everybody does. And if you don't see that it's hurting the children in any way, they're developing normal, then it is normal. See, it is not normal in our culture. So then
Mhm.
there is an apprehension that you have being in bed, knowing that, I want to get up. It's, when is she going to sleep? They feel that.
Right.
But if this is normal and everybody's in bed and everybody's asleep and everybody's feeling normal, there's no apprehension, the children don't feel like there's something wrong.
Right.
So, all that plays into it.
Because my sister's about to have a baby, and it's that question always comes up, like, did I do the first one right? Or should I sleep train them differently? Should I have not let them cry it out? Should I let them cry it out? Because part of
Never.
sleep training is the cry. Like a lot of people push cried
Yes,
out.
I
And
did.
I've
I
always-
used to teach that. No.
Wow.
Before the age that before 9 months, for sure, the baby learns trust when they cry. That's the only thing they can do. They can't talk. They
Right,
can't
right,
move. So
right.
if before they can talk and move, if they are not being somebody's not attentive to their needs, then
Right.
you're neglecting them. That is abuse. So no.
Wow. That's so good. So how would you, well, I guess we should have another call of just sleep training advice because I don't want to take away from this, but this is all has to do with the attachment training, like that was partly why we did let Rhea and even Isaac sleep with us, was not only just for attachment, but also because I was nursing them so much in the middle of the night. I was like, there's no way I'm going to get up every hour out of the bed, nurse them, get back in the bed, and still get quality sleep.
Oh yeah, when they're little, it's perfectly okay. There's couples that the husband brings a baby to the mom so that you stay in bed, and every 3 hours he
Right.
does that to help you in the middle of the night, or you just keep the baby with you. The only um difficulty with that is that if you fall asleep and you smother the baby because
Right.
you're so
Right.
tired.
Right.
So one of the things that I recommend is get a drawer, put the baby in the drawer next to you so that you can feed the baby, but when you feel that heart thing next to you, you're
Right.
not going to fall on top of the baby.
Right. Yeah, we've had those little DACA tots or those snuggle me things you put them in, and
Yeah, but some
yeah.
of those are soft and
Yeah,
it's easy to
that's
roll
true.
over.
That's very true.
Let me ask here, Kathy. So I see what you wrote. You had a question about that?
I think you answered it, because I think our little guy was always in trouble. And so I think was probably sent to his room. And so the sister became the mediator. And so it's really hard. And I have been working and saying, well, brother needs to come and talk to me. And so we're trying to, but she was protector
Mhm.
because even in they had one horrible foster home where they were beat. So
Mm.
it's trying to, she's very helpful. I think she has the gift of helps,
Mhm.
which is nice, but then trying to say, no, brother, because he disassociates, but he's doing so much better. I mean,
Mhm.
we're learning to find our words. And so, but it had to be where I had to kind of separate them to where, because their needs they weren't ever met. So now it's not her responsibility to meet the need, it's my responsibility.
Right.
So I've got two different emotions I'm trying to help.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and it's important to let her know that it is okay. She's doing a good thing. It's what is her little brother's name?
Ezane.
Ezane. Okay. I need to talk to Ezane. Would that be okay? Would you go and get him for me? You can have her feel helpful. Go and get him and bring him. Okay. So then he can tell me, what it is that he needs, or but you're such a good sister. That was very, very nice to help your brother. Would you, I'm going to go and talk to him, because if he is on the depressed side, then he may not come. Oh, is the other way around? Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So then it's actually very strong motherly instinct in her to protect her brother, if that's, if she's more in a depressed state. So that's amazing. But yeah, you can say, okay, I'm going to call him and I'm going to deal that with him. Thank you. You were helpful. And then that's it. You don't need to go much into detail with her. And then she'll realize, because she needs to learn that she can let go. See, she's still mothering him. And so that tells me that she doesn't quite feel safe yet. So you can hone on that. I said, do you feel safe here? Do you think I can take care of that for him? Okay, so I will. So that way you can enforce the safety part, and then she can let go of having to protect all the time, because that is tiring. I had 3 younger siblings and I was the responsible one. I was the oldest, and if they broke something, if they did something, it was on me. And it is tiring. And I don't remember ever my mom saying, that was very helpful. Thank you for helping. Or nope. So that was just, I heard it as an adult, somebody, in one of these classes saying it to another child. And I cried like a baby because I needed to hear that and I never heard it. So it's important that you nurture that in her so she can let go, so that she doesn't feel that pressure, that, you're both in a safe place. He can talk to me. It's okay. Nothing is going to happen, or whatever the situation is, you can speak into it. But so that she realizes, oh, I guess I am doing that, because she probably doesn't even know that she's doing it. Remember, I'm mom. You're just big sister. Let me be mom. So things like that, so that she can, oh, okay.
And then the other thing I wanted to, with Mary Catherine, we had a sibling group come in, and I said, "Oh, you're such a good girl," because they'd been called a brat their whole life.
Mm.
So then hearing you say that, I guess I created that, because then she'd look at me, "I'm a good girl, Grandma," and I said, "Yes, you are, baby." But because she'd been told you're nothing but a brat, and so then I don't have the tools yet I don't have the muscle memory yet to change not saying good girl.
Well, but if it comes natural, so that you can start training yourself to come out of it, what you can say is, yes, you know why you're a good girl? And
Mhm.
then she'll say, why? Said, because you did this. That was so nice. You help your sister, you help your brother, you set the table, or I saw you, paying attention what so and so needed, so you can add to it, so that way she doesn't think, oh, I'm just a good girl now. So you can little by little come out of it, and then just try to, like, if she was a good helper, you can say, you are a good helper. Look what you just did, and say, or, she was dancing. Look at you. You are such a beautiful dancer, so graceful. Look how you move your body. You know that God dances over us too. You can just always get it out of me. But you did well, and it's all steps. You did the first
Mhm.
step, which is to take the negativity out of it and change the way she view herself. So now she views herself positive, with a positive look. So then you can bring her to, it's not just about being pretty, it's about being helpful. How do we
Okay.
serve others? So that's pretty good.
Thank you.
And I have Love Ashley. Do you have any questions? That's such a pretty picture of her.
No, not right now, but I'm loving hearing all this. I'm actually in a pickup line right now for my kids
Oh,
for school.
okay.
But no, this
No.
is really good. Thank you. Because I have an oldest that is definitely a caretaker. He's taken on that role of all the little cousins and all the things. And we just started implementing you're doing a good job. Thank you for your help. But that's not, you go play. Like, that's not your responsibility. And that has changed tremendously. So hearing you say it just kind of gave me that confirmation. He's right next to me, that confirmation to continue on. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Well, it's 1:00. So any parting thoughts? Anybody else? Well, right now it's just, that's one of the nice things when we have a smaller group for the actual live. Others can listen and they can hear and glean from the questions and answers, but then we can spend a little bit more time with each other and not have to be fast going to the next. I feel bad though that Caitlin left and we couldn't hear from her, but for anybody that listens to this, I'm getting used to going into the Slack or the Rooted Cafe. So you can always send me a message or a question or just post it out there. I love when we all answer each other's. I'm not the expert. This is what the Lord has put in my heart to study, and the experience that He's put me to have, places that to learn these things. But we all, like you just shared. Yes, Kathy.
I had one comment though. Our child who is has no impulse control, he really responds to the smile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when he does something, and and he is his little body, but his sister who comes from a depressed state, that has not been effective. So I'm not sure.
Okay. Remember what she did with the one she went in, she needs a little bit more stimulus from you.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how do you do that?
So,
Because she's 8, going to be 9.
Right.
Right.
So, with somebody older, that's why I use that scripture today about she laughs at the future, because laughter creates that joy juice that Dr. Bailey was talking about. So we want them to do that. It especially when you're depressed, that is like the best medicine. It's kind of like giving her a pill, really. Is just natural and good for you. But you can ask her, do you remember a time where you laughed so much that you literally got tears, came out of your face, your eyes, and then, ask her to tell me, what was it that made you laugh so much? And then build on that and help her. This is part of the training I'm doing now. And I was telling Mary Catherine that when I finish my training, I have to have 5 different individual interventions, but I have to have a group intervention too. And I'm going to do mine with you ladies. Is going to be awesome. So, but one of the things that we're learning is laughter therapy. And like during this 28 days that I'm going through the training, I'm working on me, and my husband is doing it with me. So you get a chart, and there's 2 techniques that we have to do every day, in the morning and at night. And you can start doing that with her. And one of them is laughter. And all you're going to ask her is that, could you remember, and then laugh about it. And then even if she can't, let's say that that's hard for her and she doesn't want to laugh, you can say, let's play a game. Let's pretend that we have, make a show or something, and I'm interviewing you, and I need you to help these children that need to hear somebody laugh, and they don't know how to. Do you think you can help them learn how to laugh? And you can just make it up. You can go and you probably don't feel like laughing, but just make the sound so that they know what to do. And then let's say that I'm actually going to tickle you. And then, is she ticklish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So then you go, well, so you made that one up, but I want you to really, really laugh. So I'm going to tickle you, and then you can tickle her. One thing that a lot of times we think, oh, our kids are too big for that. And they love it. Anything that she can have contact, good, healthy contact, they need that. And tickling is something that you can do just for a few seconds. And then you can tickle her and says, yes, now they are laughing with you, laugh some more. And then after just a few seconds, you can let her go. And then, later on in the afternoon, he says, okay, so now you tell me a story and how you make me laugh. What is it that you want to tell me? And have her think about it. How can she make you laugh? Or how can you make, remember this, our very sad children have never laughed about anything. How can you help them laugh? And then, play that little game with her. But if you can do it at least twice a day for at least 21 days, they're doing it for us in 28, but really in 21 days, you create a habit. So have her do that. And when you realize she's going to be, I've been doing it for a week. And even my husband said, I don't know if it's just because you're practicing all this or what the deal is, but you are happier. I see you're smiling even more. I'm not a joker. I'm a serious person. And he is a joker. He's constantly joking about everything. And so he doesn't feel, when he's making a joke and I'm not laughing, obviously doesn't make him feel fine, good. But it's not funny to me. So he was like, I see you smiling a lot more and it's doing something for you. And it is. I've realized that if I did something wrong, because of that perfectionism, my mom was like, you're the oldest, you have to, I would get, angry at myself because I did it wrong. It didn't come out right or whatever. And now I'm finding myself like, oh, well, just laugh it off. So that alleviates my stress so much. It is very healthy to laugh. So try that with her. Definitely.
Yeah, tickling is a little, because of what happened to them with touch. So we don't do that. But I'll just start praying and finding out other ways.
Well, that's what I was saying. Sometimes when physical touch has been wrong, you have to use physical touch to change that. Yeah. It just has to be little by little in ways that she can handle. So let's say that you find a feather. So you're not literally touching her, but you get a feather and you start just, going around on her hair or, in her neck, or you just even put her hand and just do this on her hand or up and down her arm, in her back, just find places that won't be something that would trigger bad memories for her. But she needs to start realizing this is good. It is okay for somebody to touch me and feel something good, not so that they need to exchange one for the other. And it is really amazing. One of the things that Dr. Caroline Leaf teaches on how when you are getting rid of toxic thoughts is that when you start working on the positive one, it creates those neurotransmitters that not just build the new one, but dissolve the bad one. So you're going to see by the end there is, and this is another technique that when we get together, you will learn and you can teach her too, so that she can disconnect those bad emotions and they no longer trigger her or bring, bad memories to her. You're welcome. Sorry, Lori, Dawn, we are just finishing our call for today, but I didn't want to not admit you in the group. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the first video or not, but if you can watch the first video, it's actually in the recording. I'm not sure exactly how long it takes for them to upload the video, but you'll be able to go over it. So next month, the first Wednesday of the month, we will be doing 3 to 5. But remember, oh, good. I'm glad. And you like Dr. Lee. She's cool. I like her too. Okay, so it doesn't matter how old the kids are, if they have missed any of the steps, you still work on them. You work just a little bit. And there is a lot of like games for older kids that are good for balance and for coordination, eye and hand coordination, that will still be physical. Like you can do this and just do it as fast and let's make one up. And, they like those. Anything that, and that's physical touch. And another thing is like, every time that they do something good, you can say, high five, or, find a way that you connect with her with touch, because she needs to realize touch is not bad. It's just was used wrong, but there are good ways. And that way she can actually learn that. It's important that she learns that before puberty, for sure. So she can learn the proper way to be touched, and that touch does feel good. And it's then you crave, because what happens is we crave, even if it's bad. We see women that they go from one abuser to another abuser to another abuser, and we say, what is wrong with her? She keeps going, finding those losers, or, you hear all these comments that people make and judgments over each other. But your body craves whatever has been given. Even if it's bad for you, like sugar and drugs and things that it is not helping you, you crave it. So you have to change it for something that is good. And then you'll start craving that. Another good thing is, I don't know if you do essential oils, but I have taught, which one do you use?
We use a lot. She really likes lavender. And then we have peace and calming that we do. They're all over the house.
Okay. Well, what I was asking was, what brand, because like doTERRA has aroma touch technique. And I know that Young Living has something rain. I can't remember, but they have
The raindrop technique, and they also have a reconnect kit. That's
Okay.
good for kids with like autism or any trauma.
There you go. So those are things that you can teach her, and that's a good touch. So you tell her, okay, so this is the way this technique, because it's not really a massage, it's just an oil application. So you put this oils in this order, and then you go this way. And I've taught couples so that they can do it to each other, and they do it to their children, and then the children has to do it to the parents. So then as they do all that, they learn, it is okay. It is okay to put, then somebody puts their hands on you, is just the proper way to respect you. And it's a relearning. Unfortunately, when we learn something bad, we just have to learn it well.
Well, we quit even 12 years ago when we first adopted a child out of DHS. John and I quit showing any physical affection, but then that was a detriment to our child that was still in the home. So we've had to relearn, like we'll give a quick peck or a hug and the kids cringe. We said, no, that's what mommies and daddies do. And so now it's right. Now it's kind of a fun game to it'll get them to laugh because, ooh, but it really was doing detriment to the children that were in the home, we were trying to protect the one who'd seen more than she should have ever seen. But it's a healthy relationship, and it really affected John and I for a long time. And so we thought, no, that's not healthy. We have to be strong. Yeah. And so we've had to slowly work it back in. It's okay to hold hands. It's okay to sit next to each other or give each other a hug. And so we had to unlearn what we did trying to protect and find balance.
And by law, like, because I did foster care too, and we couldn't like be alone with a child and things like that. So, if they're old enough, you can tell them, this is the law, And this is what we're going to protect you from anything that could happen. And it's really to protect you because they can raise claims against you, you know, accusations that are not true. But the only way is that if you're not alone with a child. So unfortunately, but you know, you can say these are the boundaries, but within those boundaries, we're going to do it healthy because in this house, God reigns. And we do obey the law of the land, but God goes first. And he created touch. And touch can be good. It's just you haven't been shown that. So we want you to learn how to be loved, respected, have dignity. That verse that I put in that PowerPoint starts with clothed with strength and dignity. So being shown ways to, you know, enhance your dignity, it also will strengthen you. You will be a stronger person. And then you will be able to do that for your kids when you get married. So it's a good parenting tool. So my son is taking a lavender bath currently. That's funny.
This is like an idea for your 8-year-old. If she likes to dance, that could be another way. Like, because when you dance, just holding hands and, you know, like doing the old school dance is fun, but it's also that touch aspect. I don't know. It might be I mean, for an 8-year-old, you know, she might enjoy that.
Circle dances are perfect.
So it's not
There's more than one kid.
Yeah, it's not that tickle that I can do with my almost 2 and 4-year-old. It's like they love that kind of touch, but and they also love to dance. So I guess that's different too. But like the Hebraic dances and stuff, they are just so uplifting, but they're also spiritually powerful. So I don't know. That's just an idea.
Yep.
Yeah. Dance is another, they were made to dance inappropriately. And so, but yeah, we have lots of trauma.
Well, that's where you can restore
that. And do circle dances where everybody holds hand. Yep.
Yeah.
We watched Bill Cloud and Bill Cloud where they, you know, when they're touching the person from behind and we've been trying to do that because
Good. So little things, but it's like everything, you know, God is a consuming fire, but how did they worship Moloch? They would offer their kids on fire. So, you know, burn them. So, you know, fire can be used wrong. It can be used for a good purpose. So, you know, we sterilize things so that when they do surgery, you don't die of an infection. So, you know, it's important that they see everything has a contronym. Every coin has two sides. And especially since they have already been exposed, it's not like, oh, you know, we don't want to expose them before time. No, they already been exposed. So now let's unpack this for them and say, yes, this was definitely wrong. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. But there are proper ways to still be loved, to still be cherished, to still be special to someone. And that does not include that. And this is the way our Father loves us. And this is the way we love in this house. So, it's like you said, being strong and saying, this is who we are. And this is what we do. And this is what God teaches us to do. So that they know that there is an authority over you. That's not like, because I said so. You know, it's like, you know, our authority is God. And this is what he wrote. He wrote beautiful love letters to us. Would you like me to sit and read to you, you know, one of those love letters, and you'll see, you know, we're doing this book, which would be a really nice devotional that you can do. It's a messianic journey through Proverbs 31. It's called Valor. Let's see. And the name is Robin Luton. This is the pastor of the wife's pastor of that church where Benjamin and his family goes to back home.
Show Mayor?
No, 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 his parents are in
Ohio, in Ohio.
Ohio. It's Bethel. Let's see. Author together to serve the it's a Beth Tikkun Messianic Fellowship. It's in Akron, Ohio.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. We're starting to do this, and it's excellent. So, you know, there are different things that she can learn the right parameters and the right the proper what God intended for us to do. Well, so we went almost half an hour over. Would you let's see, Mary Catherine, would you like to close us in prayer?
Sorry, I couldn't find my mute button. Yes, I'd be happy to. Father, we just thank you this afternoon that you came and you met us on this day of authority to help us come into our homes and take authority over the way things plan out in our house, the way things come into our children's hearts and come out of our children's hearts. And so, Father, I just pray that all this information that Simi has so graciously taught each one of us who have been here, that it would just be sealed in our minds and in our hearts and in our flesh, that we could operate and actually put these things to practice, and that you would just encourage us in the moments where it's hard, in the moments where it's difficult. Sorry. And that you would just help us to have patience and operate in that patience, that you would help us to reflect the love of Yeshua to our family members, to our children, and to ourselves, Father. We bless you, and we bless this time today, and it's in Yeshua's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Awesome.
Sorry, my earphones got yanked off by my son. So
Just what
Realize
you're
really
saying.
is happening in here.
That's awesome. That's real life.
Real life. I love you all so much. Thank
I
you
love
for this.
you
Cindy.
too. See you guys. Well, check in 2 weeks and we'll do the sitting at the well. He has something
Awesome.
awesome for us too.
Yay. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Bye.